guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a look for you, but I'm only going to be doing a partial bit of the look. Today I'm going to be doing the foundation complexion part of this makeup look. I decided to break it up into like a little mini series so that the bite-sized pieces were easier to watch at a time. So yeah, I'm going to be getting my makeup on and talking and that sort of thing while we're doing it. I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell down below so you can become part of the family. And that's gonna be, so I'm barefaced again. It is the next morning. The last video I posted was a haul, a barefaced haul. And in that video, I told you that what I was going to do is get on camera and make a series of videos going through using those and reviewing them and that sort of thing. So it's the next day and I'm ready to put on my makeup for the day. I am going to divide this up into pieces because I hate to look at a video and see that it's 2 hours long because I'm just afraid I won't be able to finish it. So I'm going to try to break it up into pieces. And so what I'm going to do for this video is I'm going to work on my foundation, just, you know, my skin. I'm going to work on color correcting, skincare, all that. So that's what's going to happen in this video. And then the next video, I will be showing you how I have been doing my eyeshadow, my brows, and all those new products that I have pulled out to show you guys. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, I told you guys I've been using the Revitalift Hyaluronic Acid Serum. It's by L'Oreal, and it comes in this little thing like this. Now, what it says to do is use every morning and evening, and my face is nice and clean. It says apply 2 or 3 drops to the face and neck, avoiding the eye area. Guys, I don't know whose little bitty face that's for, but this is not super emollient as far as being able to spread over a large area. So even though it's expensive, it was over $20, and for me, drugstore, that's expensive. But I've just been going in with a full dropper, and I just kind of drop that in my hand, all of it, like that right there. Be sure to close it up so if you knock it over, you don't lose this. It's just a little clear. It's really good. It is, when you've got plenty of it, and I got a mirror right here. So if you see me look over there, that's why. But basically, I use it all over and down my neck like I would any other serum. When you've got plenty of it, it spreads very easily. But I have noticed so far that it seems like it might be helping just a touch on these really, see my expression lines in my forehead, they're really severe. But I have been using this every morning and night for about a week now. I had told you in the other video that I'd already started using it. And I mean, even though I've been, you know, using it quite frequently, it's lasting. So you can get away with less, you know, like a half a dropper full or something, but I like to bring it on down my neck because I have the mature skin that's super, super dry. So since I always seem, you know, on the dry side, it's just better for me to, you know, put a lot on there. I don't think too much is a problem. I'm going to go ahead and go in with my fresh lip balm, so my lips can be being moisturized while I'm working on my face. Okay, I have plucked any wild hairs. I've used my little thing and I've kind of gone in and done what I need to do. So the next step for me is to go in, well, I got a hair in my mouth. The next step for me is to go in with the primer. And since I got this from Hourglass when I purchased this, I decided to go ahead and go in and use it. My favorite is the Smashbox Primer. That's my favorite because it is moisturizing. It just like covers my face really easily and dries fast like the serum does. But I'm going to go ahead and try this. It just says sample. It doesn't tell you how much. Let me see what kind of, oh, it's like a paddle. Let's see, that's an awful small. Let's see here. Let me see if I can just kind of clean it off. You know what I mean? We're going to see. I don't really know how much this takes. I don't know. It falls over really easy. It's glass, but, okay, so I've got that much. I'm just going to kind of smooth it out. I'm going to put it in my T-zone for sure, where I know that living in the South, this is so silky smooth. My goodness gracious. It's just, oh wow. I mean, it is so slippery, and I'm not used to that, so I don't know how my makeup is going to react to that. I don't know if I've put on too much or too little, but there. Everything's very slippery. I keep these little, they're just microfiber cloths. I keep them in here because that's what I use on my hands while I'm, if I get my hands dirty or anything like that, then all I gotta do is wipe them off on this. And microfiber towels work really good for this kind of situation, especially makeup and that sort of thing. And you can throw them in the washer. They clean up really well. They'll stain, obviously, but that's what they're for. So, okay, I think what I want to do next, since I have done that part, I had pulled out my Tatcha Silk canvas. I was going to put that, but I've decided not to do that since I'm using these other products that or this one anyway, the Hourglass, since I'm not really familiar with it. I want to see what my skin does without anything else on it. So let's just go from there. Okay, color correcting is the first thing that I want to do. I have always used the Smashbox orange stick, the color correcting stick in dark orange. I do that because these deep, I mean, no matter what I do, I can't really take them away. But I do try to, like lessen the darkness. And so I just use this, and I usually use, let me see if I can find my, I don't even know where there it is. This is the brush I use. It's a Sigma large shader E60. It's just a big flat. You can see it's stained. I use that just to kind of smooth this out, but I just go in. You do have to sharpen it, but it sharpens very easily. I just gonna go in like that right there. I have a really dark spot right at the corner. It's either red or dark. It just depends. Underneath my eyes, right against the lash line, are also very, very dark. And so I just go in with this. Now I am going to go ahead, I think I'll just use this here as my mirror for up close. But all I do is just go in and I gently work this in. I start with underneath my lash line and kind of bring it out just a little bit. And it seems to work pretty well. I have such darkness there. And this way, I don't have to put near as much concealer on. It just works for me. I don't like, because of my fine wrinkles and my age, I don't like to over conceal. So what I do is I try to put on some foundation products like this to, prevent me from having to put on a lot of products, because this is super, super thin. And it works. It does a really good job of concealing or correcting, and that way it doesn't show when you put makeup over it. But if you put makeup in that area, which I try to avoid doing, but if you put your foundation in this area and then you put your concealer on top of that, you're gonna have some cakey under eyes, especially if they're dry. And you can have dry under eyes and fine wrinkles pretty much any age, so that's what I do to kind of help limit the amount of product under my eyes, because wherever you have fine lines or wrinkles, the more product you add, the worse they're gonna look. Okay, drink of unsweet tea and my Starbucks cup. I love this cup. It's great. I have to try to always make sure I'm drinking plenty of fluids. Okay, now in the past I have, let me see if I can find it and show you guys. I had somewhere at one point, I don't know what I did with it, but I had the Urban Decay green concealer fluid. I used to put that on my redness or whatever. I'm trying to embrace my redness, and I'm trying to just let the products that I put on my face kind of do what they need to do. So I've not been doing that extra step. I do have a lot of broken capillaries. You can see I have melasma on my right underneath my jawline. And then I have a lot of broken capillaries, and I have some scars and stuff from acne when I was a kid, but you can see here, you can see all of the, and then of course this right here is a huge age spot. So, you know, I used to go really hard into concealing all that, but I just don't think it's necessary really anymore. It's not me giving up. It's me just saying, hey, I don't want to put as much product on my face as I used to. I've kind of grown out of that, I guess you could say. So there's that. Okay, the next step for me is going to be foundation. I went ahead and I wet two beauty blenders. This one's brand new and never been used. And this is an old one. It's stained up. It was the blush color or whatever you call it. That's what it was. I'm going to use this one for my cream bronzer, and I'm going to use this one for my makeup. Now, when it comes to makeup, I know that this is a super, super full coverage, but I'm going to put it off to the side. I want to try this dewy one from Wet n Wild and see what kind of finish I get on it, because it looks like, on other people's skin anyway, it looks like it does a really good job with coverage and not being overdone. I don't know if this color is gonna match. It may match my body, but not necessarily my face. So I'm just gonna kind of go in the way that I normally would, like that right there. It's got a little paddle on the end, and I just kind of bring it across. I'm just gonna take my beauty blender. I'm gonna start blending in. I wait and I do my brows after I've done all this, because I don't want to get foundation in my brows after they've been completed. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'd rather do this and then fix all that kind of stuff later. Do some things where I don't have as much detail work to do. Just less work for me. Now, I have a lot of freckles on my forehead, and that actually concealed it very well. Now, I have no idea what this primer from the Vanishing primer from Hourglass is going to do, but it looks pretty good so far. Okay, let's go ahead and go in. I like to do my T-zone. That's how I kind of work. And then I go out from the center of my face and work my way out. I know that the other Wet n Wild, the matte version, you can build it up. And I bet you this has got the same kind of basic formula. Okay, I kind of cut out some of the blending. You can see in my T-zone how much coverage and how it is canceling out the redness, which is awesome. So far, I do like this. It's got an unusual smell. It's not, I mean, it's a very faint smell, but it's there. But it seems to go away once you start blending out. And I can always go back in and layer in where I need additional coverage, like in these areas here if I feel like I want to get some additional coverage. But a lot of times I'm able to bring my concealer down just enough to cover the worst areas. Always get close to your ears just to kind of blow it out, because you don't want to have a really dark line if it doesn't match your body perfectly. And then of course I do pull it down all around. That as my makeup mirror just came on. I guess it saw my hand. I'm still trying to get this to heal. It doesn't want to heal. It was bad. It was a really bad infection in my ear there in that hole. And then when I scratched it during the night, it took all the hide off. It was bad. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. You can see the coverage here versus the coverage there. Okay, let's see. I need to try and turn that light out. Maybe it won't see me when it turns back off this time. It's one of those automatic mirrors. When it sees, you know, motion, it comes on, and it's more of a fluorescent color, and for filming that doesn't do as much good. So, but you can see I am avoiding the whole eye socket area. If I can avoid it, I do. I don't put my foundation in my eye area. Now, it may not look like it because there's a lot of redness, but this actually does match my skin tone. I look yellow in the light, but I don't think it's gonna look that way when I get finished, because I just have a little bit of redness where I'm sunburned still. I'm already peeling, but I really do think that it'll be okay. Now, it would be perfectly fine if I wanted to go in and add just a touch here and here. Let me go ahead and do it just for the sake of it, so you can kind of see. That stupid thing keeps coming on and off. Okay, all I'm gonna do is just blend it in right here. It doesn't lift up what's beneath it. You can just see that that age spot is a very difficult thing to hide or camouflage. And I could probably find something better on the market than what I was using for the age spot there, but I mean, I just don't see any point. But you can see it is buildable. It, you know, enhances the coverage just a little bit more. It's definitely buildable. I really do like the finish that I am getting here. This finish is very nice. It's not sticky. It's drying down, but yeah, it has that little bit of sheen to it that the matte version does not have, obviously. But I really like it so far. I mean, you can't beat it. It's so inexpensive. I mean, Wet n Wild products are awesome, but yeah, this is it. Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in Dewy. And again, my color is in soft beige. Actually, there wasn't much to choose from because it was pretty sold out. So I think other people are kind of getting on the boat with it too, especially during the summer. During the summer, especially here in the South. Oh gosh, here in the South for real. The thing is that, you know, it's very humid. You get really sweaty and that sort of thing. If you have on a lot of really matted down products and really heaviness, it's gonna wipe off. As soon as you touch your face or something, it's gonna start coming off. So I've not really found a solid way to keep everything on in the kind of heat that I live in and the humidity and that sort of thing. But I have found that if I use some more glowy products, that it makes it look a little bit more natural than if I've just got this layer of dried makeup that's trying to hold back perspiration, if that makes sense, or oil or whatever. So if that makes sense. Okay, I think what I'm going to do now, I think I want to go ahead and I'm going to use this, and I'm going to go in with, no, actually I'm not. I want to try out my new Hourglass brush. I have been using the Too Faced Born This Way multi-purpose sculpting or multi-use sculpting concealer. That's what I have been using for a long time now. I just don't see any need in changing. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So mine is in the color Porcelain. And I told you in the last video, but I wanted to remind you, this is a brush from Tarte Cosmetics. This is the end that I've been using to kind of go in and, you know, blend out my concealer underneath each eye. And then you can use this brush to just lightly set to keep the creasing at bay. Well, I bought this one. I told you I really love this brush from Hourglass. And this one is supposed to be a concealer brush. It looks like it's got a really good shape for that. So let's go in and try it. I'm just going to go ahead and do what I normally do. And what I normally do is I go in and I just put in like a dot underneath my eye, because this is so, first of all, a lot comes out. And so I just put it right there, like that right there. And then I go in with the brush. Now we're going to see if it absorbs the brush or what happens, but let's go ahead and look and see. I just go in. I take it all the way up underneath my lashes, then I take it out to the side, and then I start working my way down. Okay, first impression, total first impression, the brush is great. It is blending it out so much better because I'm able to use the end of the brush, which is very blurring, versus the Tarte brush is more of a, you have to just kind of streak it on. I do like the fact that I can use the end of this brush and it's blending it out like a blender would. I really like that for sure. Very nicely blown out, and you can see how lifted my eyes look. Sometimes I will bring this on down if I have a little extra on the brush and just go over, but the problem with that is that honestly you're wanting to conceal, and this is highlighting an area in comparison to your foundation. So you know, that kind of really does defeat your purpose. But sometimes I'll do it if I know I'm going to be using, you know, a lot of bronzer or blush or something like that. And then I feel like it doesn't matter as much. I like to go down this and around the side of my nose with this. Oh, yes, yes, that's great. I love this brush. You know, the thing about it is I know they're expensive. And yes, it's a luxury. But if it gives you the kind of performance that you're looking for, to me, you know, every payday, you can invest in one item, start building a collection of good brushes. I know a lot of, there's a lot of different brands out there now. There's indie brands, the Hokuhodo, or I don't know. There's a lot of different ones out there that are really probably very good. But I will say, out of all the cosmetics companies that I've had brushes from, this is a really good product to have. I'm just blending it out. I'm just kind of tapping. I guess you can see I'm just tapping. And gosh, it is great. It blended that out much better than what I've been having happen for me. And I did go in between my eyes just a little bit with any extra product because it helps lighten up my face. I do look a lot, I look very yellow on my camera, but I promise I'm not as yellow as it's coming across. I don't know, it's probably just my lighting, this ring light. I can choose between, let me see, I can choose between warm light and cool light. The cool light is a little bit more truer. It just doesn't, to me, look as good on camera. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like this one right here, even though it does look a little bit yellow, but great. Okay, well that was an investment that I'm happy with. Right now, there's not any other brushes from them that I like in, you know, my mind's on or anything like that that I think that I would like to go get or whatever, but very pleased with that brush. Okay, now what I like to do is I like to go in with a little setting powder and set under my eyes just a touch, not anywhere else, but just under my eyes. I'm gonna go in with this Hourglass Vanishing powder. Let me find something to open it with because it's got one of those little things across the top of it. I've just got to get my, I got to get my tweezers and get this baby pulled up. Okay, it had one of those little things over the top. Put that in the trash can. I'm just gonna put the lid back on it, tap it a few times, shake it out of the lid. Okay, and you can see there's some inside and there's some in the lid. I'm gonna use what's in the lid. Let me see, what would I like to, I think I'm gonna use this one. This is a, I don't remember, this might be Tarte. It was a, yes, it's Tarte. It's Tarte, it says it right there. This was a little rose gold collection they had out during the holidays that I picked up, and I really liked it. So I'm just kind of gonna go in. It's a really loose brush. It's not very compact. So just enough, a really light dusting. You can still see my bags because those crevices are still there. It's not like I'm putting any filler in there. I'm just trying to, you know, lighten my face up so that when I look at you head on, it's not as much. But that powder is very interesting. Let me get a close look at my eyes and see what I think. You know what? I know why they call it Vanishing. It is very blurring. It is. I don't know what the cost is of a full size, but I'm going to continue using this one just to kind of see what I think about it. But first impression, it does seem to be very blurry, which is what we're looking for, especially in our problem areas. So there's that. I don't know if you can see, but it's a big difference from the before and after. A big difference. Okay, I am not going to put that away because I may choose to do something a little brightening underneath my eyes, but for right now, I want to try out. I'm just going to put this this powder away. It's making a mess. That's okay. I'm glad I'm not completely dressed. Okay, I wanted to go in and try for the first time ever a bronzer, cream bronzer in stick form. This is the one from Physicians Formula Organic Wear, Sculpting Bronzer with jojoba oil. And mine is in the color, what is it? Oh shoot. It's like coconut or something like that. I can't see it. I took the cover off of it and now it does not. I hate that. I hate when that happens because what I did is I opened it and the actual color was on the package apparently. But I did purchase out of the two colors I saw, and I don't know if there's just two colors. I purchased the darker of the two. So I want to kind of go in and let's see what this is going to be like. I'm going to get a larger mirror for this, just so I can kind of see what's going on. So I'm just going to kind of go in and, like, you know, put this where I normally bronze. I probably need to blend it in. Let's see, what kind of blender brush should I use? Do I want to just use this? I think I'll just use that. Let's go in and go ahead and mark it where I would normally. Ooh, that's a lot. Okay, let's step away for a minute. I'm pinching it together. I've never used this before. I don't even know if it's like I'm using the correct technique or anything. But I'm kind of trying to bring some of that off of my face. I don't have to put quite as much, I don't believe. But I did put it right underneath the edge of that jawbone so that when I blend it up, I do get some of that shadow. Okay, let's go in with this one. And I am pinching it kind of bring some of it up around my hairline. That's actually a really pretty color. I really like that color a lot. It's dark. It's dark as mud, but it's a good brown tone. It's not super warm. It's not cool tone, but it's not super warm. It's a good kind of in between. I broke my mirror, my big mirror. I broke the handle off of it. I hope I'm not going to get bad luck just because of that. But anyway, okay, so that's the first time for me to ever use a cream product like that. I like to kind of come over the bridge of my nose just a little bit, and I'm pinching it so that it's not like a big bulb. I'm, you know, kind of, but I like to come across my bridge of my nose with my bronzer, excuse me, and my blush, because I feel like that it gives me a more sun-kissed look. I probably could use some more on that side. Probably, even though I thought I was overdoing it on this side, it probably was actually fine. This is very beautiful. It definitely blends in so well. I don't typically do a lot down here because I have this loose neck that a lot of us have. So I'm not going to kind of bring down any color that way. I don't want to kind of, you can't really camouflage it when it gets to a certain point. Okay, so first impressions, first time I've ever used a cream product. You have to be careful putting that lid on there. You're going to ram it right into there. You can see I've already done it. Okay, so I'm pleased with that. I'm not really sure, but I want to go ahead and go in just a little bit with the Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer that I've been telling you guys about. I want to go in with it just a little bit on top of that. Let's see what happens. I was kind of hoping, if anything, it would kind of set it down just a little bit, you know, like maybe kind of, that way you don't have like a cream product setting where there's no setting it down. With this powder, I was kind of hoping maybe I could you can see I just adore these Hourglass brushes. They're amazing. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to go in and I want to set my entire face. I have this Morphe brush right here. I'm just going to go in with my it's Rimmel. My Rimmel Stay Matte. This is in the color Nude Beige. I just want to go ahead and set. Even though it's supposed to be a dewy look, I do like to go ahead and very, very lightly set the rest of my face. And the reason I do that is because of the heat. And also, I'm going to use a setting spray. And so what that does is that takes the powder out of it, but everything kind of melts together and that sort of thing, and it works out really good, or at least it does for me. Okay, so we're going to do that. Now let's go in with blush. I have been using, this is also from Hourglass, but I've been putting the hurt on it. This is my Hourglass blush. It is Ambient Lighting blush in Luminous Blush, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It's baked. You can't see it on camera, but I mean, it used to be kind of humped up like the, see how this is humped up? Yeah, it used to have kind of like a dome. Yeah, this used to have that too. I use the other end of this brush now, and I just kind of go in. This is a luminous blush, and it does have a sheen to it, but I really like it, and it doesn't take much, as you can see. It looks really good in person. It gives you some glow. I mean, I'm going to be putting some highlighter on, but I like this, and I just don't think this color can be beat. It's so pretty for mature skin, because with mature skin you cannot put anything on that's like overly shiny or glittery or anything like that, and so you have to use products that have like that slight sheen to it instead of a shine, a sheen. And I think personally that makes a whole big difference with mature skin, especially if you have a lot of wrinkles like I do. Believe me, I've got them. Okay, instead of using my Color Icon, though, I do want to dip in. I'm just dying to dip into this baby, and I have my new Milani brush that I purchased. It's wide or narrow. I really like that. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to go in with this one right here instead of this one. This one's really, really, really light. I'm going to go in with this one and see what we get. I'm just going to kind of just go in with my brush lightly, knock off the extra. There was a lot come off. Okay, so let's look and see what we're going to get. I'm going to go sideways like I normally do. I do like to put some up above my main part of my arch of my brow. Now you'll notice I'm not getting in this area. I'm not wanting to highlight that. I just spent all this time trying to do something with it, so I'm not going to put highlighter in that area. Oh, this is a gorgeous, I mean, it's called Ambient Lighting. I can see why. Oh, how beautiful. Very, very beautiful for, very, very beautiful for mature skin. Okay, let's go in on this side. Oh, I love it, guys. It's so pretty. It's not one of those that just jumps out and it's blinding and looks like you are made of plastic. You know what I mean? I'm just right underneath where all that work I did, right in here and here, is not being highlighted. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I mean, I knew it probably would be, but heck, dog, that's pretty. Okay, and I like to put some just a little bit right here and a little bit right here. It helps raise my brows since I don't have much brow. And then, of course, I like to come down my nose. See, it gives my nose just a tiny bit of shine. And that's good because it means that it looks more like your skin than, you know, if you just kind of walked out and it was completely matte and hard on a sunny, hot day. All right, I do like to go over with my powder blush everywhere just to kind of make sure there's nothing just barely sitting on the skin, that I knock it away. And this is what my face looks like before I do my eyes. So the next thing that I would do is I would work on my brows, and then I'll go in with my eye makeup. I'm really, really, really pleased with, first of all, loving this already. I think I am going to like this. Whether or not it's worth me buying it, I don't know. I enjoyed trying a cream bronzer for the first time. I like the way that it looks. It does give me the look of a cheekbone there, more so than with just the bronzer alone. Obviously, yeah, I knew I was going to love this though. I mean, you know, yes, it gets dirty easy. I don't care. This is beautiful. This is really, really beautiful. I am pleased with the way that my concealer worked along with the foundation. Yeah, so guys, I'm going to stop the video here, and then what I'm going to do is I'll come back in the next video and I'll show you the rest of the process, which is my eye makeup, using some setting spray to set my face, and what I do for my lips. So yeah, I'm going to draw it to a close right here. I hope that you enjoyed watching me kind of experiment and play with some new products. I'm really pleased so far. I do have a couple of cons for a couple of things, but they're not major. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go next video. Join me back here. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so that when I upload the next look, which will be the eyes in this little mini series that I've decided to do, yeah, just do that and join us. I'd love for you to be part of my YouTube family, and that's going to be it for this video. Stay tuned for my eye look, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.